I said bad habit number 5 in presentation. We're looking at 10 worst habits presenters make. Number 5 bad habit is failure to rehearse. It's important you rehearse important presentation. When you rehearse, you discover what you did not know how to pronounce, what you did not know that we are wrong grammar, what you did not know that can indict you. And I said, take a cue from Cisco CEO John Chambers. John Chambers has been noted to spend hours rehearsing every component of his presentation, from the material flow of slides to when and where he's going to work among the audience. That is the way he prepared for extreme presentation, but it also works. So try to rehearse until you become a master presenter. Until you become a master. In fact, one way to kill and fidgeting on the stage, or what they call stage fright, is by rehearsal. When you rehearse before your presentation, that thing that would have caused you stage fright, you take care of some of them before that time. Habit number 6, standing at attention. You expected to reduce moving left and right. It is good you learn how to be stationary, but all the same, you can move a little, but not too much, as pastors will do. You can also use hand gesture, but don't overuse it like Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan overused hand gesture while talking. And I don't know how you didn't have an advisor to tell you, don't over gesture. When Goodluck wants to tell you what they do with money, say, how they do it, the whole hand will be moving at full edge. You know, he has a height, so he has a long hand. And you imagine, how wouldn't people have advised that they reduce this manner of gesture? Do you notice Osibanjo while talking? He's a good presenter. He's a classical presenter. Osibanjo can be in a place citing his grammar, talking. That is classical presenter. He really went for training on presentations. Can be at a place, he doesn't even need to read perfect. He'll be talking from himself, moving minimally, demonstrating most time with only one hand, without moving the hand too often. So it's a good case to copy. Great communicators are not stiff. They are not standing like an army, but it makes presentation, they can walk a bit, but that makes presentation. Number 7 bad habit, reciting bullet point. Please know that what you expected to present is in the bullet points, not what you copy from Microsoft Word. It is called, what is that? Okay. What you present is what comes from your PowerPoint, and your PowerPoint are bullets. Bullet points. You don't copy the whole content of what you want to tell people into the slides. You put them in your head and put the paragraphs, the highlights, so that when you see the paragraph, you remember what to say, what we call it bullet points. So it's a bad habit not knowing that what you should do is to recite your bullet points. Speaking too long. In presentation, try not to take a long time. It's only in seminars and in church preaching that you can speak for long. In any normal presentation, you allow 10 minutes of it. So learn to cut your message short by going straight to the point after your normal introduction, which can be 2 minutes or 3 minutes, thereabouts. For people that are like us that may be called to speak for 2 hours, we can comfortably take 10 minutes of the 2 hours, or take 5 minutes if it is 1 hour. But for somebody that has 15 minutes to talk, it take only 2 to 3 minutes for self-introduction. Then use the other ones, go straight to the point. Speaking too long is a bad habit. People really don't concentrate for too long, especially in this 21st century. People, yeah.
Well, for instance, it depends on what you are presenting. If what you are presenting, like the one you are doing now, presentation with teaching,
Okay.
take time.
Yeah, that's what I say in seminars. That is what I mean by seminars. Seminars means teaching. If you have to do a teaching, you can take 2 hours of that, and that is, I said it's like the ones we do, take 2 hours or so. But if you have to just give a report of how you have done for the last 3 months of this, you go straight to point and reduce taking most of their time, because some have already prepared for questions. You give them the opportunity to aid their questions. Okay. Number 9, failing to excite. Okay, a good presenter, a good communicator grabs attention by most of the time the first thing they say, and most of the time the last thing they say. And how do they do this magic? They make sure they have a good entryway. Sometimes they start with a quotation. Sometimes they start with an apt statement, what we call apt statement, APT statement. That's a sharp statement. Sometimes they use a quotation. Sometimes they can use a storyline. They give a story of 1 minute, 60 seconds. And that story now will introduce what they want to say. It may not be so much good for a beginner to start with a joke, but experienced speakers can use that. And before you can start with a joke in a presentation, you also should know who you are. There is a person that can use it destroys the audience. There is a person that can use it, the audience will clap and smile. One, the audience is considering his capacity as a leader. Number 2, the audience is also considering his age as a statesman. Let's say if Obasanjo is to talk to a group of people and start making jokes, they will be laughing, even if he's abusing them. He is to give a speech, but he starts with a joke. They will still be laughing, ba, 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 ba. But another speaker cannot do that. Who doesn't have that age advantage, or that advantage of being a president for a long time. Are you getting it? It's like also in pastoring. There is a joke. If your neck can crack, even if he wants to start preaching, people laugh. Because they see him as a general. But you can't call another pastor and he cracked that joke, people still remember. They will read meaning. But when you see these fathers, Adeboye, Ibiyomi, Oyedepo crack those jokes, you will laugh. So it was similar to what Paul did when he said, "Oh, foolish Galatians." Not every person can start a statement with that. The people will say, you are calling us foolish and you want us to still follow you. So, failing to excite is good, but maybe the safer way can be with a sharp quotation or a short storyline if you know how to manage story, because managing story requires some skill. If you cannot handle this too, you move straight into, you can use a quote or app statement or small storyline. If you cannot handle this three, you go straight into your points. But joke, which is the fourth one, are required by people who have that advantage that no matter what they say, people will still call them father. Okay. Number 10 bad habit is ending with inspirational deficit. That means you ended abruptly without dropping a thing that will be memorable, that will not be inspiring. Great communicators end their presentation on an inspiring note. Yes. Most time, they keep you in suspense by the statement they use in ending, and everybody will wish as if they are starting, and they are, but they have ended. So, I want to look at the sixth agenda that I have, which is using ICT and useful computer packages for effective communication. Using ICT and useful computer packages for effective communication. Now, this is what happened before internet. Most businesses out there, we are using fax, telex, which is a way of sending printed text message that printed on a printer at the other side, or by using mail, what they have old-fashioned paper version, what they use post office for. Most post office now has been overthrown by grass. But because internet has been born in 1984, there has been increasing role of computer resources and ICT. IT. That is, this ability of computer to capture information, knowledge, and data has exceeded unimaginable what people can think. That is, access to information on the assumption of this thing I have said. We now look at effective reporting. Having the assumption that internet have changed the way people have been communicating, that what used to be telex, fast, has been overtaken, and that technology had changed the storyline. Many years ago, businesses tell computer what to program. Today, computer tell businesses how they should align their activities to fit into what computer can do. So because of this, we are going to look at effective reporting, letters of memo writing, proposal, meeting minutes writing, report writing, speech writing, human factor in reports. Now, these are the requirements for effective communication if I will use ICT. Remember, we treated barriers, removing barriers to effective communication. If I am to use a device, there are certain requirements I need to get. There are certain things I need to have. One is knowledge. One is the policy. That policy brings empowerment to you. One is infrastructure. That one brings power and more. The next one is internet or intranet facility. That one is made up of computer, phone line, and ISP connection. The other one is ERP, enterprise resource planning. The other one is network, which is LAN or WAN. And the other one is what we call effective EUD. EUD means end user development. These are requirements if you will use technology and deploy in your communication. Do you communicate to outside office beyond here?
Beyond here.
And do you communicate to outside branch or outside office or outside the administrative center, full gospel administrative centers elsewhere?
Yes.
Like how many administrative centers do you need because we have in Nigeria?
We have branches in all the states.
All the states? Similar thing that is here?
No,
This is national office.
So we have districts.
The one down?
This is one.
The one down
Yeah.
is in all the 36 states.
Yes.
Do you communicate with them?
Yes.
36 states
Through email.
through email. Okay. But this one that is national office is only two in the whole Nigeria. South and North.
National office.
I mean national office. This you are in national office
Only
now.
this one.
Eh?
This is only national office.
The one down.
This one where you are
Eh.
is the only national office. The one at Abuja now is the Liaison office.
Okay, Abuja, Lagos. Is there anyone in Lagos? Where is the president's office?
Abuja.
Okay, the president is in Abuja. Full gospel president. And other executives.
They will be in other places.
Okay, they only come when there is a special meeting. Okay, do you also link with that branch, Abuja branch?
Yes.
You have issues that communicate with them
Daily.
daily.
We send them
Okay.
whatever letters.
Now, right. Now, I say that requirement for communicating with peer level branch, because that Abuja now is a peer level branch, it's a branch on the same level, while the one down is a lower level branch. Okay. Now, the requirement for communicating effectively now require knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of how it is to be done or how it is done. 2, enable policy empowerment. That means there is an authority that you can use ICT to communicate. Are you getting it? There is a policy allowing you to do that. 3, infrastructure. That means that there is equipment for doing it. Now, with respect to internet is there because you can make use of the internet and ignore intranet. Are you getting it? Because since you can always get to the website and the email, internet is enough to serve that purpose. For ERP, you don't have problem about it. You don't need it. And you don't need the other one. But then you need effective end user development. That is actually what is going on now. To be able to develop it, to be able to be a good end user of this facility. Did you get it? Enterprise resource planning is a software, but you don't need it because it's not a full. Now, these are portability tools. Remember, this is requirements for effective communication. This can said to be specifications for the ICT. Now, the portability, these are tools that can help you do that. It's what we call e-messaging, electronic message. Incidentally, Full Gospel doesn't have an intranet. What they have is a website, a portal. With that portal now, you can make use of internet to reach to it. Then the next thing is teleconference, video conferencing, m-commerce, which is mobile commerce, mobile devices, which is that handset you're using, Bluetooth, which is inside of that your handset, WAP, which is inside that your handset, and GPRS, GSM, which is inside that your handset, SMS and MMS, which is inside that your handset. Broadband, you don't need it since you're going through internet. Are you getting it? Now, you discover now that when they gave you laptop and gave you smartphone, they have virtually empowered you with portability tools. Are you getting it? I hope the laptop is their own and the smartphone is their own. Your personal own. You should tell them to give you smartphone. You tell them to give you smartphone. You will tell them to give you smartphone. That the one you're using is your own. Okay, because these are not two strong portable tools. And your phone is smartphone, I hope. Okay. Now let's look at a wide variety of communication systems that you can use. Let's go. Number one is email. Now, you have been doing this. I will think of what I may introduce you or not when we'll be looking at it. Tomorrow I will get into work. We will go into internet and do demonstration. Now, email is a system that allows messages to be sent and received by computers. Email is the most common form of electronic communication. There are more electronic communication anyway, but email has almost made others so almost look as if they are not there. There used to be what we call FTP. There used to be what we call Gopher. But email have really dwarfed all of them. That very tiny number of people know that those things are there. Email messages are text-based, but other files can also be sent as an attachment. Though it is text-based, you can also send picture or video as an attachment. Email that are received wait in what we call inbox. When you send email, the mail you send are kept in somebody's inbox until that person is ready to read them. Then he opens the inbox. Unlike a telephone call, the user is free to ignore it. Email doesn't disturb somebody like a telephone call. Once a telephone rings here, it will distract you. Even if he ignore you, it has taken a second of your attention. One of the greatest distraction of this world is phone calls and ringtones. And that's what whenever I'm teaching people time management, I teach them a lot of things that you know about phone and how to learn how to ignore phones. Phone is one of the major distractors in life now. Unlike a telephone call, email you can ignore it. It doesn't pinch you. Since you are here, you might have received 10 emails, but it is not worrying you. It is in your own time that you will go and open your inbox to know whether you have email. Okay. Now, email usually has these parts. It has to. It has subject. It has message part. It has CC part. It has BCC part. It has attachment. It has also send and forward. Are you getting it? The to contains the addresses of the person you want it to be sent to, which must be there before the mail will ever leave. The subject contains a description of what the message is, a kind of helping the person to know the heading of the message. And they normally create the subject creatively so that it will convey a good attention to the person that you are sending it to. The message is the body of what you are writing, and it can be as long as you like. An email may include also CC. CC means carbon copy. BCC means blind carbon copy. If you want to send a letter to a president,